Hey there, it's Brittany Bun. Today we're gonna have some fun with me telling you how to hunt for shinies. That took me like 3 attempts to do because I kept saying hunting for some shinies. The reason why I want to do this video was because I've seen some tutorials and sometimes the tutorials aren't really clear. They're pretty vague on how to hunt, so I wanted to do kind of a more detailed video on how to get shinies. Before I get started with it, you just gotta know that's probably gonna take you hours, maybe even days to get the shiny that you want, or even to see a shiny at all, because the odds in the game are really low if you don't have a shiny charm. So I'm gonna teach you the method that I do in order to get shinies. Now, the way to get shinies is through mass outbreaks. It's a pretty new concept to the game, so as you can see, I have 3 outbreaks going on. Before you start hunting, you need to know what you're looking for. Are you looking for a Chansey, a tan growth? If you're just hunting for shinies in general, then it doesn't really matter which outbreak that you choose. Just choose which one you want to do first. So I'm going to go for the Chansey one. Even though I've already got a Chansey, the first thing you need to do is turn off your autosave. That sounds weird. Why would you want to turn off saves? Trust me, you're going to want to turn off the autosave, because if you have it on and you see a shiny but it gets away from you, then the game autosaves. You're not going to see that same shiny again. So you got to turn it off first. And from now on, you're going to have to manually save the game. So what I usually do first is I save the game at the camp, so that in the event that I see a shiny on the way there and they end up getting away from me, and then I'll reset the game so that I have a chance of getting the shiny. And usually on the way there, I'm looking for other shinies. Like, that's another way you can get it. Sometimes you'll just like see a shiny that you're not even looking for. Next thing you're gonna do is, if you didn't see a shiny on the way, then you're gonna find the mass outbreak and then save it. The reason why you save before the outbreak starts is so that if you see a shiny and then it gets away, then you can just reset that encounter by closing out the game. And then you open the game again, and then you'll start at that point, and that shiny will still be there, because the game is not gonna like reset the ones that spawned in that area. Now, the Chanseys are very skittish, very afraid of anything that moves. You're gonna have to like be careful. What I usually do is I'll usually bait them with food, get them all to turn around, and then I'll catch the nearest one to me and then just kind of pick them off. And oh, we already got one. I wasn't expecting that. So that is so funny. I thought this was gonna take me hours, but then it just happened. So we just saw a shiny. I know what you're thinking. Oh, I should save it right now. No, do not save it, because I saw this one tutorial that said as soon as you see a shiny, save the game. I did that, and when I restarted it, the shiny was not there. The reason for that being is that if you save at the same time that the shiny just so happens to be running off, the game is going to interpret that as the shiny has left the area. So when you restart the game, the shiny is not going to be there. So when you see the shiny, do not save. I'm trying to save your life, because when I saw that shiny Eevee and I didn't get it, you know, it really messed with my self-esteem. Just clear them out and then get that shiny. So it got out of the Pokeball. So don't immediately go back for it. Just like wait till it calms down and then try to get it again. All right, so now it's gone. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna close out the game, start it back up again. See, we're back in the same spot. And it's like nothing ever happened. Like you didn't make any mistakes. So I'm gonna do the same method, bait them all into one area, and then catch the nearest one to me. All right, see? Look, now it's back. So we get another chance to right our wrongs, to fix our mistakes. And we got it. We got the shiny Chansey. once you get the shiny, I would still say don't save. Like, just in case that you see like another shiny that spawns, because that's actually possible to get like more than one in an outbreak. And then fast travel back to the camp, and then we're gonna double check if it's there. There it is, the beautiful shiny. Let me show you how it usually goes. So let's see if we get another outbreak. Okay, so we're gonna do Psyduck. I don't have a Psyduck shiny. So first step, you gotta save first. So when you see the outbreak, you save, make sure you're hidden. For certain outbreaks, sometimes it's easier to just fight them off than to catch them, because sometimes the balls don't be working. So it looks like there are 3 left, which means the outbreak is almost over. So what I wanted to show you in the Chansey outbreak is what happens when you don't get a shiny. So you close out the game, and then you start back up again. So it's like nothing ever happened. Now we're gonna go back to the camp, and then you're gonna leave and go back to Jubilife Village. Once you go back to the village, the whole island resets. So it looks like we lost the outbreak. Sometimes what will happen is the Psyduck outbreak will still be in that area, but sometimes it disappears and it becomes a different outbreak. If you really want a Psyduck shiny, then you have to leave the village, go to the camp, and then go back to the village, and that resets the map again. One thing I forgot to mention is that when you have more than one outbreak happening, if you happen to be trying to get an Ursa ring, but then you're like, oh, I kind of want a Happiny, and then you go to the Happiny outbreak, the Ursa ring outbreak might not be there anymore, because when you go to a region, it resets the other regions. Something that I've noticed is that if you're going to an outbreak in a certain region and you keep going back and forth from that region back to the village, it's going to keep spawning outbreaks at least in that area, because sometimes it will spawn other outbreaks in other regions, but it will continue to spawn outbreaks in that area, or they'll just entirely disappear sometimes. But that's a good way of increasing your odds of getting outbreaks if you're looking for a Pokemon that's like in that specific region. For example, if you're trying to get Growlithe can only be found in, as far as I know, in Cobalt Coastlands. So say that there is a Vulpix outbreak that's happening in that area, then even though you don't want a Vulpix, you'll still go to that region in order to eventually spawn the Growlithe outbreak. Same for Eevee. Eevee is usually found in Obsidian Fieldlands. So if there's like happens to be a Psyduck outbreak, but you want an Eevee outbreak, you'll keep going to Obsidian Fieldlands to eventually spawn an Eevee outbreak. But Psyduck's over here, so we'll go to the Tangrowth outbreak. You can go here, get that notification that you found the outbreak, and then just go back to the camp. Also, be careful if you're doing the method where you leave the village, go to a region, and then immediately go back to the village, because that can mess up your switch because of the loading screens, and you know the game is constantly resetting and it's trying to do it at a fast pace. Because that just happened to me. It's not the first time it happened to me, so just be careful about that. As you can see, the outbreak has disappeared, but that's okay, because you can eventually trigger an outbreak to happen again. Say that there isn't an outbreak, there's still a chance you might see a shiny in the wild, because that's how I found like quite a few of the shinies. Like the Shinx shiny that I evolved into a Luxray, I just found it when I was looking for an Eevee shiny. Like, it was just in the field right there. So you can just like briefly go over the land and just kind of look at the ground and see if there are any shinies around. That's also how I found the Alpha Rapidash shiny, is because I just so happened to be looking around for a different shiny. It also helps to know where certain Pokemon spawn. Like, I know that Eevees, they usually spawn over here or on the other side, so I look in those areas. So now go back to the village. Oh look, we triggered an outbreak. So I'm not interested in this. So there is a Chansey outbreak that's happening. So we're gonna go over there. Yeah, so the Chansey outbreak is super far. It's like way over there. I'll meet you over there. We are finally here. Took like 5 hours. So remember to save the game right before the encounter. And if you didn't know, the Chanseys, the outbreak is usually here on Cobalt Coastlands. And there's also an alpha Chansey that's over there. Alright, so there were no Chanseys. We had no Chanseys of that happening. I'm sorry. So you're gonna close out the game, but please don't close out the video. Now the encounter never happened. So you're going to go back to the camp, go to the professor, tell him that you failed, and we're gonna hope that the outbreak is still there. And it's still there, I'm right. Notice how there is an outbreak here at first, and the one that was here is gone now, but there's another outbreak that's in a different region. So leaving to go to the village and then coming back, it's gonna reset the ones that spawn in this area. So they're not going to be the same exact Chanseys that were in the other group. We failed yet again. So there are no shiny spawns over here. So you're going to close out the game again. And then I'm going to save at the village just in case my Switch turns off again. Now there's a different outbreak over there. So the Chansey spawns are gone. I do want a Vulpix shiny, so we're gonna go for it. It also helps to eliminate threats that are near the outbreak, because let me tell you, when I was looking for that shiny Eevee and that Alpha Rapidash just came out of nowhere and scared it off, oh boy, was I mad. I was so mad. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice, only 4 spawn at a time. So when you get down to 3, nothing else is gonna spawn after that. It's always gonna be 4 at a time. I literally stopped the Nintendo Direct for you guys. Okay, so I just started doing the method that I've been telling you about in this video. And I got an outbreak in Alabaster Islands, and I finally found this shiny. I've been looking for this one for, I was about to say months. It feels like months. So I did not save it, even though I saw it. I did not save it. Alright, so we got it. That's really all that matters. I want to see. We gotta make sure that I actually got it. And we did. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of us, you guys. Oh, not the truck ruining my moment. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we're gonna save. Okay, so the Zorua outbreak is still happening, but I kind of doubt it, because sometimes when you don't finish the outbreak and then you reset the map, the outbreak might still be there, but when you actually go there, it won't spawn as much as a usual outbreak would, because the game still remembers, hey, you came to this outbreak but you didn't finish it, you still have some more to catch. But you can still go to the outbreak, make sure that there aren't any shinies there, but usually it's like maybe like 2 or 3 just regular Pokemon there. So alright, so that's basically how you hunt for shinies. For alpha shinies, it's a little bit different, because alphas don't have mass outbreaks. That's not a thing. It's just like regular Pokemon. Well, you might find like an alpha in an outbreak, but for it to only spawn alphas, that's not a thing. So to hunt for shiny alphas, which is super rare by the way, and I only have 2 and they happen to be the same one. But how you try to get them is you basically just keep going to that spot where they spawn. So for example, I've been looking for a shiny Alpha Lucario for the past week. He only spawns, or she only spawns in one area, and it's a very specific area that takes so much work to get to. Is he? No. Okay. So yeah, you would just like go to that area, see that it's not them, and then go back to the camp. But sometimes I like to check down here to see if maybe there's like a different kind of shiny. There usually never is. But one time I actually did find a shiny Lickitung like down there, I believe. You can either rest in the region, go to the next day, so like sleep till morning, till midday or whatever, and that'll reset the day, new Pokemon and everything. Or you can just go back to the village and then come back to this region. Either way, it's fine. As long as it resets the area, then it doesn't really matter. If you have any questions, just comment down below and I will try my best to answer as thoroughly as possible. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, found it helpful, please give it a like. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.